So you've not made much of an issue of it, but you shot this on a mobile phone. So what made you want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably more to do with considering trying to get some money from Huawei.
Yeah.
But we never got round to it. So no, it was. I was just blown away by the quality. When I was taking photos and videos, I just thought, wow, this looks really good. And I remember when we first shot in and around London. I think it was after the first day's filming. It was just amazing. And you know, when you play with the grading and the colour, it just looks so cinematic. And also, it was really easy to jump on a train, shoot in Trafalgar Square, and what have you. But yeah, it just made London a lot more accessible for us to shoot.
Lighting was quite important since it was on a mobile phone rather than lighting and stuff.
Yeah. Did that help you?
I think from an actor's point of view, it's obviously far less imposing than a massive camera.
Yeah.
And then a big sound and all this kind of stuff. So I think it's because it's more subtle.
Yeah.
You kind of forget about it more easily, whereas sometimes.
Yeah, it can be quite hard on set when you've got everything. You're like, okay, I need to internalize.
There's so much exactly, and then you've just got to forget it all. But here, it's a lot easier to forget a phone.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even see it half the time actually, so I just had to keep going, and I didn't know if he was filming. And then he'd say right, but I just kept going.
Yeah.
And
just stay in character.
Kept crying for ages, and didn't stop crying.
Yeah, and I think we need to give a shout out to. The Metropolitan Police, because they saw us in a huddle talking about a shot one side Trafalgar Square. We had an Asian man in a suit with a rucksack, a Latino literally dressed like this, and then we had a sound man, and they came over, and suddenly we were surrounded by like 4 undercover. They're just like, okay guys, what's going on? And we just said, and it was so quick. I was just like, okay,
and they were
my name's
all
Francisco.
undercover.
Yeah, and they were just like, right, what's going on? I said, look, my name's Francisco Labbe. I'm an actor. Showed him my MDB. He's an actor as well. We're shooting this thing. He was like, what's it about? And I said, it's a heist movie. He works at a hedge fund, blah, blah, blah. And he was just like, okay. He literally said, can I have a look at the IMDb? I gave him my phone. He was like, okay, thanks.
So essentially, it's a short film.
Yeah.
So why have you chosen YouTube as a platform to release it on, rather than going down the festival route?
Okay, so we have a 90-page script ready for this. Originally, we wanted to make a short film and put it into the festival circuit just to see how it did. But then we saw the success of Sheraz's story and saw how that had just done so well. Millions of views.
Millions of views within 24 hours.
Absolutely.
It had 1 million views.
Yeah, and not just that, but the writer, director, rapper, he's then gone on to get signed up by Jay-Z.
By Jay-Z, yeah, he's done amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, I spoke to Sheraz about it, and he just said, you know what, let's just put it out there. If not, we would have had to submit it, wait for months to pass, and essentially we just want to get it out there. We want people to enjoy it.
Yeah, because with festivals it can take like 2 years. You know, I had a short film recently. I filmed in 2016.
Okay.
And only now, 2018, I've finally been able to put it on YouTube.
Wow.
Which one's
Because,
that?
the festival run,
Yeah,
then it goes
course.
for another year, you can't release it.
Yeah. What's the name?
Shadow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it do well?
Oh, it done really well. Won a Best Newcomer Awards at the Marbella Film Festival.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
really cool.
So essentially we're launching it on YouTube, and I think you were happy about that, weren't you?
Yeah,
Getting it
yeah.
out there.
I'm getting out on Christmas Day.
Exactly.
People are sat around, you know.
Yeah.
They can watch
Yeah.
the film.
I think YouTube's great. You know, you can aim like at different target audiences. Anyone can see it. You can watch it on the train. Tell me about the Hedge Fund film. What is it about?
Sheraz.
Well, in London, there's obviously a lot of people come to work in London, and you have the whole commuting, people working in offices, and everyone just goes about their day-to-day business. But in this film, poor old soul, the character, he has something cataclysmic happen to him and his family, and we see that emotional journey as he has to deal with that. and his whole life is interrupted. And it just shows that something like that happens to your family, it will affect your life in that way. And so this entire story revolves around him dealing with that and basically breaking every kind of moral that he has in order to achieve his objective.
Yeah, amazing. So would you say it's got some action and emotional moments? Certainly,
there's many emotional spikes in the film. It was, for me as an actor, to actually go through that process, sometimes it was a little bit distressing. You're on that kind of borderline, because I had to show what this character is feeling, and because of the way Fran's written it, it needed that kind of performance. So, you're able to put yourself into the guy's shoes. Certainly from the feedback on people who've seen early views of the film, they've put themselves and they feel what he is feeling, and that's what we try to do with the story. So that's what you're following with this character Soul.
Also, as an actress, I learn something new on every project that I work on. So for you guys, what did you both take on from this project, on the directing side and acting side?
After you.
Well, for me, I think this film really helped me come out of my acting shell, because I was forced to do really intense scenes in public on a train. I had to cry on the train and at a train station and on the tube, and you just I wanted the film to look good, so I gave it my all.
Comfort zone,
and I know now, like that sort of influenced me in many areas. Like when I do stand up now, I feel more free.
It is really intense, especially on a mobile phone. You're just going past people on the normal day-to-day, just keeping in character.
Absolutely, yeah.
Amazing.
There's one scene where I have to get really, really aggressive on the phone. And there's people just milling about. They don't know what's going on. They don't know it's a film.
When you were going crazy on the phone.
Yeah, they think it's real.
Okay.
I must say, in the second half of the film, he was up and running. Just a complete lack of inhibitions, because it is difficult to cause a bit of commotion in public.
Yeah.
He would have literally ran across Trafalgar Square naked if it had been written in.
So is it true you're releasing this in many different languages?
Yes.
Amazing. Tell me about that.
Well, I just thought to myself, I looked up out of curiosity the amount of Hindi speakers. And obviously, it's a huge culture for cinema in India. And I was just blown away by the hundreds of millions of people. And I just thought, well, look, how many people go out of their way to translate a Western film into Hindi, and rather than dubbing it?
Yeah.
Rather than subtitles. So I just thought, let's do it. And then when we started doing that, I just thought, well, look, I have South American roots from Chile. So I thought, well, if we do it in Spanish, we then get so many countries to potentially look at it.
Yes.
And then I just got carried away. So we cast for Mandarin, Japanese, Korean, Tamil. But based on the logistics and time between now and Christmas, I think we're probably just going to release it in Spanish, Hindi and Mandarin, as well as obviously English.
Okay.
Please, मेरी उससे एक बार बात कराओ. क्या वो ठीक है? Please. Hello? Fuck! Woohoo! Well done, Ramesh.
From a director's point of view, how did you find it as, you have acting experience?
Yeah.
So did you kind of know what to say to Sheraz to push him in a certain way as, you act as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think because there was a level of friendship there, we felt that we had the license to be completely direct, So, of course, you have some days where there's a conflict of, creative direction or what have you. But ultimately, it was nice to almost have that conflict, because we both shared the same philosophy of wanting this to be as good as possible. So it was never a forum for, let's say, for arguments that didn't get resolved. It was simply about, well, I think this is going to work, let's have a look at that. And sometimes he was right, sometimes I was right. And I actually preferred that, because I'm on a learning curve, so it was great
to try different things.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think you can be precious when you if you're starting out in the industry and you're wanting the product to be as good as possible. So it was nice to have that, you know, and then at the end of the day...
We did have a massive argument in the pub.
Oh gosh,
in front of loads of people. Yeah.
But that's quite early on.
That was early on, yeah.
How did it come about? What was it about?
I can't remember. I think I called you a psycho in the end.
Yeah.
So don't call him a psycho.
No.
But we're all psychotic, aren't
we are. No, but it was about an element of the film, and but you know, in the end, we realised I was right, so it was fine.
You was right? Oh,
no, we weren't. No. There's no right. There's no one really that right and wrong.
Yeah,
it's just...
I mean, it's interesting because as an actor, they can feel that their character can only have certain experiences. And in a way, as a director, you've got to listen to that because he's going to be living and breathing that character.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if there is that creative conflict, I think it's good to debate it. And it's nice to be able to basically be yourself and, you know, not have to, do you know what I mean, walk on eggshells. I'd rather say, well, no, I think you're talking rubbish. He would say the same to me, but I think that was, we had a bit of a bedding in period, didn't we?
Yeah.
So there was I think we were probably just trying to sort of work each other out.
Well, we're very similar, our personalities and the way we've kind of come up in life.
Yeah.
You know, we've had to kind of struggle to achieve certain things and try and make a life for ourselves, and with that comes certain personality traits of one person always feeling they're in the right. So we had to kind of find an equilibrium of, okay, let's work this out. So from an actor point of view, if he'd say something and I'd say, I don't know what you mean. I can't think of any other emotions.
Yeah.
I'd have to
So
try
how
and
did you
listen to
choose?
that.
Did you just say, okay, let's try it this way and then this way as well?
We did a wicked workshop. It did an amazing workshop. Frank could release a hypnotism DVD, I reckon, and it did really well. But we did a great workshop, and he took me through a process, and that really helped. I think that was there were many turning points, but that was one turning point.
I think that probably that goes back to your question about what could I bring to directing from the perspective of having been an actor.
Exactly.
So we were going to shoot on a train. I knew that we wouldn't be able to have hundreds of takes because it's public, because we're also having to incorporate shooting within a distance, because we can't take too many takes. If not, we won't be within 2 stops of Charing Cross, which is where all the dialogue was. So we had a bit of a day where literally it was just visualisation. So and I remember the story. It was based on a film I'd seen really recently of a mountain. I think it was a mountain climber that had to cut off his leg to escape. He was stuck in a ridge, and that was it. So I literally gave that story to Sheraz. He's alone in a cave, halfway up a mountain. He's in extreme pain. His battery's about to die. He's got to put one call into his friend who decided to stay in base camp that day. You've got 30-45 seconds. How are you going to communicate? And we went through that visualization, the storyline, and his performance brought tears to my eyes. It was so powerful. And then the change of performance on the train was just, I think it worked.
Yeah.
Did you film that by any chance?
No,
Can we see that anywhere?
we didn't film it.
No.
Was that a film?
Yeah.
I think we made that up.
No.
He was like, he's got so much imagination.
Yeah, what a fraud.
Fraud.
But the way he did it, like, it really got into my head when we workshopped, and it really did. It changed things. It made a big difference.
That's amazing.
And as a director, to do that, that's like, you know, testament to him as a director coming in first time directing. It's like a really amazing way to help me as an actor make it so much better.
Exactly.
And to be honest, we've all been to acting class and, you know, done stuff, and sometimes you come out of it and you're not sure you've actually learned.
I'll be honest, all the acting studying I've done over the last 4 years, and classes and school, that was the best thing I've ever done. It's the thing that's helped me the most.
Yeah. And the film,
anything
obviously.
I've done. And the film, and doing the film, of course.
Yeah.
Doing the film and that, you know, there is no substitute for that. It doesn't compare to anything I've ever done in the past. And I've done a lot of acting classes and stuff.
No, definitely, me too.
We all kind of go through that. Yeah.
I did something similar, like visualization, at my old drama school.
Right.
And it was that same sort of effect that it had on me and everyone else, because it was a group of us doing it, and it was the teacher speaking us through it. And by the end of it, half of us were in tears, some of us were really good. And do you guys have any more projects coming up?
Well, obviously this has inspired me hugely because to be able to shoot this on a mobile phone, you now think, oh my God, I've been sitting here for years thinking I will only ever be in anything that I can, that I have to audition for.
Company
Exactly. So that's just completely opened the horizon to millions of opportunities.
And ideas.
Yeah, so I do have. So I was in McMafia last year,
That's right.
and it was just a small scene with a lead actor. So I just thought it would be nice to shoot after the success of Narcos and El Chapo, to be able to shoot a Colombian or Mexican cartel Netflix pilot, and to see how they operate in Europe. So have them based in Europe, setting up the operations. It'd also be really nice for me to see, for once, a South American group of actors who are the leads in Europe, rather than us just have those small bit parts. So
that's never been done. There's a gap in the market.
Yeah, and obviously there's such huge demand out there for it, as we've seen in Netflix and what have you. So that would be, I'd love to be able to do that.
So signing out, I'm Andrea Martinez and we're here at Spotlight Offices. Don't miss out the Hedge Fund film on the 25th of December. I'm here with the director, Labbe, and the lead actor, Sheraz Yousaf.
Thank you so much.